In a quiet town near Flagstaff, Arizona, a man named Henry sits on his porch every evening. He watches the sun dip behind the hills, listens to the wind rustle through the trees, and says nothing. He's not waiting for anyone. He's not expecting a call. He's just sitting, because silence feels safer than speaking. Henry is 81. He used to be the loudest voice in the room. He led meetings, gave advice, told stories. Now, he barely speaks unless someone asks him a direct question. And even then, he keeps it short. You're a man who's learned to hold things in, not because you want to, but because that's what you were taught. You were told to be strong, to be steady, to be silent. So you did, for years, for decades. And now, you don't know how to be anything else. I'm Silas Reed, and this is The Silent House. We speak to the men who feel deeply, but have been conditioned to hide it. We don't pity, we understand. This channel is a space for the quiet ache, the unspoken weight, and the emotional truths that were never given permission to surface. If this feels familiar, stay with us. We're just getting started. In places like Topeka, Kansas, or the outskirts of Reno, Nevada, men sit in living rooms filled with silence, not because they have nothing to say, but because no one asks. You're a man who still feels grief, still feels regret, still feels love, but you don't know where to put it. You're a man who still remembers the things you never said, the apology, the thank you, the I miss you. And those words, they live inside you like echoes. You're not asking to cry. You're asking to be allowed to feel. You're not asking to be fixed. You're asking to be understood. You're not asking for therapy. You're asking for space. In a diner in rural Missouri, a man named Carl eats alone. He used to come here with his wife. She passed away 4 years ago. He still orders her favorite pie. He still sits at the same booth. The waitress knows his name, but not his story. Carl doesn't talk about her, not because he doesn't want to, but because he doesn't know how. You're a man who still carries emotions, but you've been told they're weakness, so you bury them. You distract yourself. You stay busy. But at night, when the house is quiet, they come back, and you feel everything. I'm Silas Reed, and this is The Silent House. We talk about what no one else does, the emotional weight of aging, the psychological toll of silence, and the dignity of men who still feel deeply. If this story feels like yours or like someone you know, subscribe, hit the bell, like, and leave a comment. Help us make silence heard. You're a man who still wants to say, I'm scared, but you don't know if it's allowed. You still want to say, I'm lonely, but you don't know if it's safe. You still want to say, I need someone, but you don't know if anyone's listening. And that's the pain, not of aging, but of emotional isolation. You're still human, still sensitive, still alive. You're not broken, you're just unheard. You're not weak, you're just tired of pretending. You're not invisible, you're just waiting for someone to look deeper. If this message feels like it was finally made for you, don't let it fade. Subscribe, hit the bell, like, and comment. Your support helps us turn silence into voice. This is The Silent House, and we're just getting